like garbage. And I found, for instance, in the last, this weekend, I came here from Istanbul, Turkey, not New York, and so I wanted to see what I remember in Barcelona. I used to have a place to live in Cadaqués for 15 years, but it was 25 years ago, and my memory is terrible. So I wanted to see what was happening, and it's you see all this. I can't help working all the time. I think it's very important for a graphic designer to be engaged always. And I noticed in the last 2 days that I really prefer the graffiti to the art. I like the graffiti of Barcelona. It's everywhere, it's all over the place, and sometimes it's pretty ugly, and sometimes it's not ugly at all, it's very beautiful. The main thing is all over the place. And then I went by a bookstore, and there are 2 very expensive books, which I did not buy, about the graffiti of Barcelona. And they were the very exciting books. So I feel at home here, because I also like garbage and destruction, accidents, and all these things that graffiti represents. You have no idea. You see, this is squashed cans. People go to the drive-in movies. They drink something. They throw it over their shoulder or out of the car, and it's driven over. Nobody ever cleans the theaters, so the cans are there. I have bags of cans because I go to the movies, outdoor movies, in the daytime and collect this kind of stuff. So you can see that it's really honest that I collect garbage, and even Mickey Mouse's hands there. But everything that comes to me, like envelopes, and that to me was a really great nose. So I, 2 minutes made 2 eyes, and a sort of open mouth, and I can't stop myself from this virus that I have. And in mixing things up, if you this footprint on the bottom, which is really a chin, that's because I made my son, who is now an architect, but when he was a little younger, I made him walk around in India ink and make me footprints and handprints, and even from on his face and everything else. And all these old posters, I collect them. And so the T is a nose, and the foot is a chin, and it's a personage. And that makes what I do, which is to make new connections between things that I see. So this is a real poster. That's in Russian. It's about American graphic art, and it's from an exhibition that traveled in the Soviet Union. And this is one of my favorite things. Many years ago, Gray is a very big advertising agency, one of the biggest in the world. And all I did was say, hey, just because you call yourself Gray, because the 2 old Jewish gentlemen started this company and they decided not to call it by their names, but to call it gray. That's no reason to be gray. So I made it orange, and it's been orange for more than 10 years. And probably will continue because they won't dare to change it. So that's the power of graphic design. This you probably all recognize it maybe because it's here as well. But the Chase Manhattan Bank symbol, this was now 48 years old. This is the first big job we had in our office. And I can tell you that because it was such an important thing for the beginning of our career, we made 9 symbols, and every one of them was just as good as that. And this is the one that they chose, and it was fine. And it's been there ever since. And so it is very abstract in its movement, and it's concentrated. It can be very small. It can be in black and white, etc. And it works perfectly well. Mobile is also very old. We made this in 1963, but it doesn't look that old. But the thing was not to make the M red, but to make the O red, because it's a wheel and they're a gas station, and that makes sense. And we have many variations on it, of course, in every way, because they have 24,000 stations in the United States and another 30,000 in the rest of the world. And it's a big company, and they were swallowed, as you might know, by Exxon, which is even a bigger whale than Mobil. Very big. But it makes for liberties. So, for instance, at this point in time, after all these years, you can cut it all up, and this is a tapestry, applique tapestry, but the people who see it are all Mobil employees, so they see it. It's in one of their buildings in England. Well, that's nice to be able to have something that's so established that you can do anything and survive. This one weighs quite a few tons. It's made of plate steel and is the red O of Mobil for their headquarters in Virginia. It weighs many, many tons, and it's been sitting there a long time. This is public broadcasting. It's very American. It's the PBS, it's called in America. It's the biggest public television station. And this is NBC. I tell you a thing about how people don't pay much attention to graphic design. This was a redesign of a peacock which was introduced for color television. And it had 11 feathers. We